was touching of my breasts, touching of my rear end, touching of my sensitive feminine areas, in between my legs, touching all over my face, his lips on the side of my face, his tongue in my ear.
That was Mario Batali, celebrity chef, listening to the woman accusing him of indecent assault and battery. It's some nasty stuff. I mean, it's happening in front of everyone, right? I mean, she's in a restaurant wanting to take a selfie with him. I want you to hear more of her testimony because this trial is going to move very, very, very quickly. Not a ton of witnesses, but this is the most important one, the accuser. Let's listen.
So I'm standing, and Mario Batali is sitting on his seat at the bar. I'm on the right side, and well, he's to my left, and he's seated.
Okay, so would it be fair to say that you are standing next to him taking those pictures while he's sitting down?
Yes.
On a bar stool?
Yes.
Okay. And what hand were you taking those selfies with?
I was taking them with my right hand.
Okay, and Mr. Batali is on your left side?
Yes.
Okay, and in many of those photographs, you can see Mr. Batali's left hand pulling your face.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us what his right hand was doing?
Yep, so his right hand is all over my breast, all over my rear end, in between my legs, grabbing me in a way that I've never been touched before like that, like squeezing in between my legs, squeezing my vagina to pull me closer to him, like as if that's a normal way to grab someone, just between the legs to pull them towards you.
Okay.
Let's bring back in our think tank, Al Wunsch, Darnell Crossland, Jennifer Brandt with us. Darnell, your thoughts? I mean, we saw with the Cuba Gooding Jr. case, which there was actual security video of, he ended up pleading guilty. Things like this can happen in a restaurant, in public, in front of people. What are your thoughts about the accuser's testimony?
I'm not following it at all. One thing that is very important when you have these criminal trials is whether the testimony and the demonstration can match. So sometimes we get in the middle of the well in court and try to reenact. And when I'm hearing her saying that he grabbed her by her crotch to pull her closer, I mean, you can grab somebody by the lapels or by the arm, but I don't see someone in that public space grabbing them by the crotch and pulling them closer. It's just not falling apart. I mean, the whole thing is falling apart. So it makes no sense to me.
Al Wunsch, I want you to take a listen to a piece of the cross-examination here because a little fact came out that, okay, let's just listen to it first, and then we'll try to figure out what it means here.
And then you show up to jury duty, and there's a question that's asked, if you've been a victim of a crime, you didn't check that box.
Because at that point I did not check that box.
Okay, that's exhibit, it's in evidence, identified as 41, right?
Page 41.
Let's see, exhibit number, I'm sorry. It's exhibit 11. But instead, you wrote, your father was a witness to murder.
That's right.
And then you wrote, is there anything else in your background, experience, employment, training, education that might affect your ability to be an impartial juror? You said yes, and you wrote clairvoyance, right?
That's right.
Are you clairvoyant?
To a certain extent, yes.
Al Wunsch, the accuser, testifying under oath. To a certain extent, she's clairvoyant.
Yes, and Vin, I'm rubbing my magic space artifact because I too am clairvoyant, and I see a not guilty finding from Mario Batali in this matter. If she was so clairvoyant, Vin, how did she know not to get away from this guy that he was going to molest her? I mean, that's the whole thing about clairvoyance. You know before it happens that it's going to happen, so she should have gotten away. So we have a situation here where she's actually contributory negligent to her own fondling.
There was another piece. Go ahead, Darnell. Go ahead.
I was saying her clairvoyance was leading her straight to the bank. She saw a big paycheck at the end of the day.
That's right.
That's not clairvoyance. That's greed and avarice, which you know I have to be dead set against.
Let's take a listen to more of the cross-examination here, Jennifer, because again, another little fact here that I think the defense will make a big deal about, but I'm not sure if it is.
Testified in your deposition that it made you sick to see a jar of pasta with his face on it, right?
That's kind of repulsive, yes.
And it made you sick to walk into Italy. It would have made you sick to walk in there at all and see his face on a pasta jar, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was very disgusted with Batali, yeah. And knowing...
You were disgusted, embarrassed, humiliated, right?
That's right.
It would be triggering for you to go into Italy. It would be, you have intrusive memories.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, but I'm also not gonna, I mean, it's in the mall. Like, if I pass Italy, I'm gonna...
But you actually did go to Italy, like 4 weeks after this assault, didn't you?
I don't remember that.
Okay, there were some audio issues in part of that. Jennifer, let me break it down for you and everyone else so they know exactly what was going there. The cross-examination said that she said, the accuser said, it made her sick to see Mario Batali's face on a pasta jar. I think he meant pasta sauce. Pasta doesn't come in a jar, comes in a box. But seeing his face on the pasta jar made her sick. Then he said, but then 4 weeks later you went to Italy. Now, not the country, but there's a restaurant chain, very famous, called Italy. Mario, his face is all over the place because he used to own it before all his legal troubles. And she says she doesn't remember going there. So does this undermine her credibility at all? That perhaps if this jury believes she goes to his restaurant 4 weeks after being molested by him, but then can't bear to see his face on a jar of his pasta sauce?
Absolutely. This and everything else we've heard thus far undermines her credibility. I mean, I think this woman's problem is she's apparently sent a lot of text messages about collecting money from him, about going to Italy, and saying it was expensive or something along those lines. I mean, she has the problem that you always tell clients, watch what you put in writing. Don't go out there and start texting things because they can come back and bite you in court if you're trying to pursue a court case. And I think that's going to be her problem. And to Darnell and Al's point, I mean, she's taking a selfie and claiming that he's groping her in various ways that are clearly disturbing. And how she can still take those pictures while all this is going on is beyond me. So I just think nothing is adding up here, Vinny. Unfortunately, she is just making sort of a mess of this, and I think it will be over very, very quickly.
All right, Darnell, I have one follow-up for you, and in this, take us behind the curtain, right? A criminal defense attorney and his client decide we don't want a jury, we're going to let the judge hear it. What does that mean?
Well, what it really means is that they've decided that the matter for the judge to decide is strictly a legal matter. And so we always say if you have a heavily factually sensitive case, you take it to a jury because the juries can decipher that. But if it's strictly a legal matter, something by the statute, you want to say, well, this is something a judge could handle, you go to a judge. This is a bad decision. I would never take something like this to a judge because even if the judge wants to look at the law but feel sorry for this individual, you have one person to sway. I'd rather have it before a jury of several, 6 to 8 people to sway. And what I want to say also her big problem is that you can't have selective memory. So she appears to remember a lot of things good, and then sometimes she doesn't remember even going to a restaurant. So I think that's going to be her problem from a factual standpoint as well.
Al, once we only have 15 seconds.
Okay.
You decide to give this put this in front of a judge instead of a jury. Does that tell you anything?
It tells me that I'm afraid that a jury is going to take a look at this as a celebrity individual and use it against him, and a judge won't do that. So that's the only thing I say. I had an MMA fighter, and I had it in front of a judge on a case because I thought the jury would just take a look at him and just say, forget it, he must have beat the crap out of the guy.
Gotcha. All right.